The thing is, when you develop certain disciplines, it actually gives you so much more freedom. Hi, Shé D'Montford here. You're just coming with me on my early morning walk. What is it that we will be when we are fully developed? What will we become? I know it. I feel there's more for me to do and develop, but I've certainly developed a lot. And I'm willing to share this with you. But it is about disciplines, spiritual disciplines, learning, coming with me on a journey. Now, a lot of people, when you talk about disciplines, shy away from it. And they say, oh, discipline, you're going to steal my freedom. Oh, no, don't steal my freedom. The thing is, when you develop certain disciplines, it actually gives you so much more freedom. If you think about the person that you would think of as the most undisciplined person, what sort of bad habits are they trapped in? What sort of self-destructive lifestyle are they participating in? Are they doing things that aren't good for them? Are they short-circuiting their own potential? Yeah, they are. Now, the thing with disciplines is it's not about hard slog. Yes, the word disciple comes from the ancient teachings where you study with a master and you form disciplines. You become an apprentice, so to speak. It's just like studying any other skill set. If you were going to go and be a carpenter, you would go and find a master carpenter and you would study with them. And this master carpenter would show you the skills that you need to develop. And you would have to practice these skills. Practicing these skills is called discipline. Now, the trick with discipline is it doesn't have to be a hard, arduous thing that takes up all of your life. What you do is you set aside a time to practice. And because these spiritual disciplines actually feel good and contribute to your well-being and make you a stronger, better, healthier person, eventually they become like an addiction. Something that you really crave to do every day. So this is what I want to share with you. How to form habits that will make people from the outside think you're disciplined. I told my two sons, who are 30 and 27, that I was going to start sharing some of my spiritual disciplines with people, and asked them their opinion of what they thought about my disciplines. And they just went, "You, Mum, disciplined?" and fell about the room laughing. But then they stopped to think about what I do, how much I've accomplished in my life. Businesswoman of the Year, nominated for Australian of the Year because of my work in Australia and overseas with less privileged people. TV shows, modelling, the things I've achieved, where I've been, travelled all around the world a couple of times, maybe more. Seen delights and had some sights on every foreign shore. And you know that song, Home Among the Gum Trees? I was the one that promoted that to the best-selling song of all time in Australia. The #1 best-selling Australian song within Australia ever. So it's about establishing, being able to achieve things is about establishing habits. Now if you go to AA, if you go to any of these self-help groups, you go to Weight Watchers, they will talk about the 21-day sweet spot that happens with habit development. Look, people can develop good habits because you start feeling that they're good within 7 days. I actually think 7 days is the attrition period. Right? If people start to come with me on this journey, I will find that the majority of the attrition will happen within the first 7 days. People who have done courses with me in the past look at the things I've shown them, and then they forget to do the disciplines after 7 days. So what I've decided to do is we're going to do a 30-day challenge. And 30 days is generally enough to get you started on a good habit. Now, guys, don't be offended at this, but women actually form habits, good and bad, much faster than what men do. So, women tend to have established a good habit in one of their own hormonal cycles. So that's about 28 days for a woman. A man's hormonal cycle is 60 days. So men need a bit longer to get things ingrained. It's got to be established within the natural cycles of your body. And your cycles are about your hormones, and your hormones run in sync with the planet. So it is about establishing these within those. So I'm going to run 3 30-day challenges in a row. First one, to get you used to the habits, to get you craving the habits. Second 30-day challenge for women will be about really establishing them and getting them deep down. By that time you'll find that they're fun and you just want to come along and enjoy them, either with me in person or via the internet, because you're just loving it. And the third one, you'll start seeing that you've made this your own. These are disciplines that I have learned from other spiritual masters. And one thing that they kept ingraining in me when I was in Asia was, oh my God, Shé, why don't you call yourself a spiritual master? You actually know so much more than most spiritual masters. A lot of people were talking to me about a gentleman over there who was taking people, calling himself a spiritual master, and all he's doing is organising trips to sacred spots where he let people meditate. Look, there are many different forms of meditation. Lots and lots and lots and lots of different forms of meditation. And you will find the meditation that works best for you. I'm going to show you a couple of techniques. The basic meditation technique to open your third eye. We'll do some sun gazing, all those sorts of things. But when you get to spiritual spots, how do you utilize that energy that's there if you don't know what techniques to use to do so? How do you tap into the energy of a high energy sacred site? We are going to go to a lot of traditional high energy sites here on the Gold Coast. Some of them are Aboriginal sacred sites, and from there you'll be able to tap into the energies. Wherever the mind goes, the energy flows. And what we start to realise with our spiritual traditions is, on the spiritual planes there is no time, there is no space. But there is time and space on the physical, because hey, we need to enjoy it. That's why we come here. We come here to enjoy these things. So, yeah. So come with me on this journey. Let's start to get some good habits there that are going to strengthen you. With these good habits, you'll start to see things like your spiritual abilities will start to maximize. Within 2 weeks of beginning these traditions, you will start to see results. You've got to keep going for 2 weeks, at least. You'll begin to see results. But the results won't just be about what you can do spiritually. You know when a person is a genuine, practiced, disciplined psychic with good habits, when you see it reflected in their body and their lifestyle. Your lifestyle will improve. First consequence that a lot of people, when they used to come and stay with me at Shambhala and do the 30-day challenge, was they would lose weight. Or if they were underweight, they would gain weight. So their body weight normalizes. So your eyesight will improve. Physical eyesight can improve. Your hearing will improve. All of your senses start to improve on the physical. And then you'll notice an interesting thing about the dynamics in your relationships with other people. You will lose that sense of self-consciousness. You will lose that critical voice inside your head. And you will start to not worry so much about what other people are wondering about, because you start to realize, one, what somebody else thinks about you is none of your business, and two, that everybody is a part of you anyway, and If they're a part of you that's outside of you that's experiencing a limited journey, you can let them experience that if that's what they want to do. And in the end, it has nothing to do with this perspective, with this part of the universe that you are. Your relationships will change. I found over and over and over again women who say that they can't find a decent partner. All of a sudden the universe, because they have moved up along, all of a sudden the universe brings them a deeply spiritual partner because they are evolving, so then they deserve, or it's not about deserve, because they are evolving, they attract a person to the level that they need, rather than a person who is simply reflecting the level that they're on. They're dynamic. Look, and not all people will be happy about the changes that will happen in your life. What often happens is when your light starts to shine stronger, it can bring up darkness in people as well. Like I know even with my own husband, when I go, hey darling, I'm going down the beach to do my sun gazing and I'm going to do a 10k walk, he will give me every excuse why I shouldn't do it. Oh, using too much petrol. Oh, this, that and the other. Which is really saying more about him. Saying more about the excuses that he presents to himself for not establishing these good habits at this point in his life. So if the people around you do start to give you opposition, do start saying things to you, the classic one is, oh, you're so fake, you're such a pretender. You hear that quite a lot when you start on a spiritual path. Right? What people are actually saying is that they're a pretender and they're trying to reflect that on you. But what will happen with these habits is you will become more centered, more focused, and you'll actually be more authentic than what you've ever been in your life. So you'll start to draw authentic people to you. And the other thing is these 30-day challenges. I have seen them produce lifelong friendships for people because you're going on this journey together. You bond with people who will be there with you for the rest of your life. Not everyone, but you find those special people. Many, many times people have found their partner on my courses. So my loves, come with me on this journey. Let me help you establish some good habits. This is going to be a fun journey for both of us. I don't like to be considered to be leading. I don't like to be considered to be a spiritual master because I see so many people abuse those terms. And it's very sad that people are going out of their way to do this thing to simply attract worship to themselves. I'd rather you view me as an older brother, an older sister, an auntie, an uncle, if necessary, who can take you by the hand, show you the journey that I've travelled, and show you how to make this journey not only the best for you, but a joyful one. Every day you'll experience joy. Overcoming depression was not something I set out to do for myself when I started my spiritual disciplines, nor was it something I started out to do for the people who were working with me. But what it ended up being was a complete reversal of that depression that gets on top of the undisciplined life that has no direction, no sense of who they are or where they're going, has a great fear of what's coming towards them. All of that goes. This 30-day challenge will improve you spiritually, mentally, physically, and attitude-wise. It will relieve your depression. It will change your body shape. It will put you on the path that you will need to be on to be everything that you want to be in the future. And it's not just selfishly about yourself. So much of this New Age movement is all about me, 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 me. Yes, it's going to improve you. But the fact is, we're here now with the change. Right? And we need people to be activated. We need people to be doing what they need to do. The big changes are happening in the next few years. Right? It started in 2012. If you can't feel it and see it in the news now, it's become critical. There are going to be so many more people that are going to need your help, that are going to need the help of all of us. Right? One mind at a time, one heart at a time, waking them up, helping them establish good habits, allowing them to be all that they can be, the same way that I'm helping you and allowing you to be all that you can be. So come with me on this journey. You'll enjoy it. I'll enjoy it. And you know what? The world will enjoy it too. Every blessing on your journey. Love you, Shé.